Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the DC Alliance podcast. Of course, I am your host, Clay, and usually with me, like I said, I was going to kind of screw it up. I said, like always, and he's not here with me today. Usually it's Travis Hines, but my good friend over from the Ranger Alliance podcast is here with me today. Joe, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing really good. I'm actually pretty excited. This should be a really good episode. We've got a lot to talk about. Also, this is like my first official co-hosting gig outside of Ranger Alliance. So, yeah, I'm excited.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
I told you that throughout the week I would just be shooting you the articles and all the topics that we'd be talking about. And by like the fifth one, you're like, yeah, I think this podcast is going to be 3 hours long. I was like,
no, of course not. And then two more stories.
These little topics are only going to be like maybe 2-minute segments. It's going to be super easy. And then all of a sudden, a new wave of freaking DC news came out. And I'm like, hey, scratch that. It's going to be 3 hours long. Let's do this.
Yep.
You know?
Again, thankfully, I don't have to work tomorrow. So I got this.
So, of course, we are a part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance network. 7 shows throughout 7 days of the week. Of course, we have World's Finest True Believers and Ranger Alliance on Mondays, superhero discussions on Tuesdays. We have Wednesday. Oh wait, sorry.
I always go back there.
I always screw it up because we go live on Monday nights for DC Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
So let's rewind and say that again. Mondays is World Finest True Believers and Ranger Alliance. They go bi-weekly. And then, of course, on Tuesdays is DC Alliance. We always go live on Monday nights, of course, like we are right now. And then on Wednesdays is Superhero Discussions. Wednesday is, of course, Katie's Day for
Thursday
now.
Is Katie's Day. You said Wednesday.
Did I say Wednesday?
Yep.
I thought I just said Wednesday Superhero Discussions.
You did, but then you said Wednesday again.
Oh, shoot. Thursday is Katie's Day. It is being split up, though. And the reason why is because we've had a little bit of schedule changes. Friday, of course, is Marvel Alliance, just because with the new schedule of the Marvel shows, they drop on Wednesdays, they go live on Thursday nights, and then the live feed will be put into podcast form on Fridays. And then, of course, on Sundays now, I don't know when the exact schedule change will happen, but it will be for real. It is my biggest enemy. Travis says that Clay's biggest enemy is the schedule. It is, and you all know why, because we have a schedule at the GOA, but I have my own podcasting schedule throughout the entire week with my 6 shows. It's absolutely insane.
Yep.
But I don't know exactly when this schedule change will happen, but it will happen soon, I believe, with Katie moving Star Wars Alliance to Sundays.
I thought Slice of Film was going to Sundays.
Was it Slice of Film? I thought it was... Shoot, I don't remember. I could
have sworn Travis Snell said Slice of Film going to Sundays, and then Thursdays every other week will still be Star Wars Alliance.
Travis says start of August. So he didn't correct me.
Okay.
He didn't correct me, so I'm just going to say that Star Wars is the one moving to Sundays. Slice is Saturday or Sunday. Okay, so everything's messed up.
Scheduling.
I need to start writing this stuff down. Like I have the notes. I have the notes for today, but it's just off the topics we're talking about. I've never written down the intro. I need to adhere to my buddy over here, Chris, in the chat, because when he makes show notes, holy crap, it's like an autobiography of the show.
Say that like it's a bad thing.
He says, Travis says Sunday is usually gonna be the days. Okay, so cool. Now, of course, we are an ad-supported network. If you don't want to hear those ads, of course, you can always visit our Patreon. It is the one thing that keeps our lantern rings charged here. So go check that out. It's $1 tier to just simply support us. $5 tiers, of course, to get all of the exclusive content we have for that. Just before this show went live, we noticed that Masters of the Universe talk with Joe, Travis Hines, and our buddy Chris all talked about that show.
Yep.
A lot of drama over that show for sure. We talked about it a little bit over at Super Civil Servants last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I absolutely love it. But we will see how the second part of that show is,
Yep, whenever that comes out.
Whenever it comes out. They said later this year. But there is also something else coming to the GUA.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the reason why you are here tonight, Joe. I can see that your name on the YouTube chat is kind of different than your usual.
Yeah, I figured I'd save your eyes and you don't have to look at those underscores anymore. But yeah, no, we've got a new show coming on August 5th. A Walk Through the Multiverse will be airing. It's a Thursday, so I'll be sharing Star Wars Alliance with Katie every other Thursday. And similar to DC Alliance and Marvel Alliance, A Walk Through the Multiverse will cover every other comic book company. You got your Image, your IDW, your Boom Studios, your Zenescope, your what's the one that Scott Snyder just his own company, Blue Jacket, something like that. Yeah,
Jacket Press or something like that.
Yeah. So if it's not DC or Marvel, the show will cover it. The plan is, I'll cover news from the previous 2 weeks. I will cover TV shows and movies. For example, this first episode on the 5th, I will have a little review of Snake Eyes because I went and saw that today. I thought, let's see, no spoilers at the moment because I want you guys to go listen to the show, but I actually liked it. So we can get my full breakdown in a week and a half.
I have seen a lot of good buzz around it, surprisingly.
So
now the first,
okay, I'm not going to get into it because I'll wait until the show.
Of course. But I will say the first initial reactions.
Oh, I was right there with you. I was like, why do we need this? This was not something that should have been made. But going to see the movie, I took my kids with me, and they had a really good time. And I mean, they're 10 and 14, but probably shouldn't have took especially since they had a trailer for the Sopranos movie, a prequel.
Nice.
And so, my daughter is covering my girlfriend's daughter's eyes, and I'm covering my daughter's eyes. It was just kind of a funny sight to see. That being said, I'm also going to have maybe either a comic breakdown or a comic review or recommendation along with the show. So I've got a lot of plans going forward. I will have hosts and guests to come on, probably mainly for the movies and TV segments. But I want to try and get everybody on there. If you are interested in coming on, just reach out to me. The Twitter handle is right there on the screen at WalkTheVerse on Twitter. And hopefully you guys will come listen to the show on Thursday.
Yes, Nathan, he did change his.
It's for my new show, Nathan, which you just
for the new show. Now, Chris also wanted to make a correction. It is Best Jacket Press, which was very, very impressive with their announcement today.
Yes,
with so many titles right out the door on Comixology's originals. Really, really cool.
Yeah, those look very interesting, and I'm excited to jump onto those.
Yes. Now, before we jump into the news tonight, I also wanted to remind you that the contest that me and Travis Hines are doing for the separate feeds of DC Alliance is still going on. We're going to be making an end to this contest, of course, calling an end to the contest on the day that we finally review the entirety of season 1 of Superman and Lois. Of course, there are 3 trades up for grabs, all hardcovers. just go ahead and review the DC Alliance solo feed on any podcatcher, of course. And please send a screenshot to either myself, Travis Hines, or the DC Alliance Twitter account. Now, especially for anybody who is international, I hardly ever leave reviews. I don't know why. I know that it helps networks and shows move up in the algorithm. I should leave more reviews. For some reason, I just don't. And I found out for the very first time last week that I am unable to read any review that is internationally. And I think that's kind of silly.
Travis for, right? He can only do Canada. I know.
He can only do Canada. But like if we have somebody in the UK or just anywhere in the world, Australia, like no one else can see those. So I definitely need you guys to screenshot those and send them to us so that way we can count your review for the contest. So with that, we can finally jump in to the first part of the news. There was a little bit of update. Chris, you were right. You didn't steal my thunder because now I can finally say it here in the show. That being, there is a random update to the Sandman Audible news. Sandman Act 2 will actually, let's see here. Yeah. So it says here, Sandman Act 2 will cover Volume 4, Season of Mist, Volume 5, A Game of You, The Distant Mirrors, Quartet, and the Convergence Trio from Volume 6, Fables and Reflections. In the US, Act 1 is a free download or stream from Audible from now until October 22nd. From August 3rd through the 31st, if you have an Echo device, simply say, Alexa, read The Sandman. Yeah, I just screwed all of you guys.
Yeah, you did.
Whoever had an Alexa just now, and I just screwed all of you. It's going to be amazing.
Or you just give them a really good book to listen to.
Yeah. But also, in this day and age, most people are actually listening with headphones. So probably not. Anyway, of course, you can listen to for free with that. And then it says Amazon Music will also provide free access to episodes 1, 2, and 3 for the first installment from now until October 22nd. So I'm really hyped about this. The first act was absolutely amazing. I finished it like in a day and a half. I binged it. I'm ready. I'm so ready, especially with like me getting trained more for audio dramas and everything else, listening to Audible all the time now with Star Wars. So I'm prepared and I want to know more. Because see, the audio drama of this is actually the first interpretation of the story that I'm listening to or reading. I haven't read the original novels or graphic novels. So I have purchased them after the fact. So I decided, okay, I'm not going to read the others until I listen to it. Just because that's, for me, listening to entertainment is a lot more, like nowadays, easier for me than just having to sit down. Because again, it just takes time for me to be like, hey, I'm going to sit down and read this and see if I can get through it,
Yeah,
and I can just listen to it at work.
Yeah, exactly. Finding time, especially in our lives with all the podcasts we have, is hard anymore.
So that is the first part of the news. Let's go ahead and jump right into the TV news. So very first piece of TV news, Victorian Cartagena. I don't even know how to pronounce that last name. I do apologize, people. Cartagena,
I believe that's what I would say.
Is technically reprising her role as Renee Montoya in Batwoman. Now, a lot of people will say that doesn't make any sense. Renee Montoya has not been in Batwoman. Well, Renee Montoya was played by the exact same actress in Gotham when it was on air. Now, they have said that it has nothing to do with Gotham, but it's just a really cool coincidence. Now, I will say, you shouldn't have said that because now
everybody's going to think.
No, not only that, but like, even if you hadn't said anything, we can all headcanon the fact that Crisis just happened on the CW not so long ago.
Good point. Good point.
Like, you're colliding worlds, and not everybody's going to remember what happened, with Crisis.
But Clay, you can't have two characters.
Oh, we will
at the
definitely
same time.
We will definitely get into that, because that is also a part of our
Yes.
TV news.
But no, like, this actually is pretty cool news. Once we saw the news about this, I went and looked about who the actress was, and I saw that she was the same one from Gotham, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember her. Like, that story her story in Gotham, because she was only in there for like 1 or 2 seasons, if that, and it was early on. And then, if I remember correctly, she either was written off or just disappeared. But I did like her story, and I did like her acting. So I'm going to say I'm excited. I haven't watched any of this season of, well, I've watched 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes of Batwoman this season. And that was only because I didn't have time. Because I would watch them, I think, like Wednesday or something that week they aired. So I didn't have time to watch them. And I just got so far behind that I am literally waiting until everything is on Netflix or HBO Max before I even start to watch the shows again, if I want to. Yeah, one of the shows I kind of question.
Well, and here's the thing that I have decided. Since Crisis, I have not continued any other show on the CW except for Superman and Lois. And the reason why that is honestly, with Arrow, in my opinion, leaving, it was a hard lead into any of the other shows. So I was like, okay, now that show is gone, there's not a whole lot of motivation to watch everything else. With the huge drama over Batwoman, it was hard to really keep up with it, as well as the just like clusterfuck that is the Flash recently. And that is actually a piece of our news also. We will get to that as well. But, and again, I have started to make this new lead on life. Anybody who likes the CW shows, good for you. That's amazing. I am happy that you can enjoy content that you enjoy. Like, that is easily the best thing. Because for me, I know a lot of people are still hung up on manga isn't real comics. I enjoy manga. And regardless of what global sales for graphic novels say, I guess, it's comics to me.
Yeah.
So
it's comics in Japan. That's like, what else do you want?
Exactly. But I will say this. I love DC characters. And so I will always give these shows a chance, no matter if people are quote unquote asking for them or not. I will always give these shows a chance until I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done with this show. I'm not going to watch it anymore. Now, that doesn't lead me to just throw away that show forever. When or if I have time, I may go back to it just to be like, okay, is this truly as bad as everybody else said it was? So that leads us into our next story here. Eric Wallace feels the Flash could run easily for at least several more seasons and possibly beyond. Now, before you say anything, Joe, I want to go ahead and tell the audience that is listening today what the entire quote was and the scenario for this question. So, Deadline, this is an article that Deadline was interviewing Eric Wallace about just the finale, what direction is the Flash going to be taking after this, and, just the normal PR stuff for the end of a season. So, Deadline asks, Grant Gustin is one of a number of Flash cast members whose contracts end at season 8.
Oh.
Could this mean that the show's upcoming season will be its last? Wallace says, to be honest with you, ... I don't know. Let's all find out together, but until I hear differently, everything's fine, I know that's super vague, but it's just the honest truth. Anything can happen in this world. Then Deadline asks, do you have a sense of how much more story there is to tell with the show? That is when Wallace said, and I quote, "I feel this show could run easily for at least several more seasons and possibly beyond, because I feel like every season we, as a writing staff, have to decide between all the wonderful stories we want to tell versus how many episodes we actually have to tell them. We have so much more that we'd love to show the audience and give to them as a thank you for coming along on this ride with us, but we just can't get it. We just can't get to it. That is why I say there's many more seasons worth of stories to tell, at least from our creative perspective."
So what that tells me is, what you just read tells me is, yeah, Grant Gustin could leave at season 8. The show could continue just with somebody else, like say Wally, or even apparently his daughter, I guess, or Bart. I don't know. I haven't watched. Yeah, I haven't watched the show since like.
Well, his Wallace or his son being Bart.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so the show is called The Flash. You could change it to the Flash family, I guess. It'd be kind of dumb to do that, but it's just because Grant is not there and Barry's not there doesn't mean the show has to end.
Exactly. Now, would people like that? Probably not. Because as much as we weren't a part of the community when the actual DC crisis happened.
Yeah.
Spoilers for a, let's say, freaking 40-year-old book? No, even further.
35.
Is it 35? I was
came close. Out 88. Or I'm sorry, 85, 86.
85. So. Okay, yeah. I was close. So, so a 35-year-old story, spoilers, Barry died.
Well, actually, no, he did die in that. Yeah.
He did die. And then, of course, who picked up the mantle as the Flash? Wally. So,
okay, sorry.
In that, you have to say, can TV shows do the same thing? I would say yes. Now, the only problem that I have is with the statement, oh, we have all these wonderful stories. And we were kind of talking about this in the GUA chat. I said the problem with a statement like that is just like the comics, the Flash, and usually, ironically, the Flash title is one of these titles that does this. Whenever there is like, okay, there's a big event, they do the big event in comics, and then there's a really large wane of lull until the next big event or whatever. That's all that is. It's all filler. They're wanting to just push these stories out of filler to be like, oh, look, this is such a fun and creative story, right?
But that's been what most of the show has been anyway. It's just been kind of filler.
It has.
Really, all the shows. You have out of 22 episode season, you'll have maybe 6 or 7 that actually deal with the overarching story. You'll have 5 of those that will hint at the overarching story, and then the other 11 are filler.
Exactly, which is the problem with the network television sample of television.
Yes.
They need to adopt the streaming version of shows. You know, not
shorter seasons.
Shorter season. Not every show needs 26 episodes. I know you want syndication, but there's streaming services. You no longer need syndication.
Honestly, one of the reasons why I feel that Stargirl did so well, I mean, it was on DC Universe at first, and that was its own problem. But I feel like the only reason Stargirl did so well was because it had 13 episodes. It was they told a tighter story, and they didn't have filler. Like every single episode introduced a new character, told you what that character is going to mean to the storyline, and then proceeded with that storyline. So it makes me happy to I actually am excited for season 2 coming out in a couple weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks, because it's the 10th. Yeah. Sorry, headcanon there. I'm looking forward to that, but I'm also afraid because it's on CW. They're announced 16 episodes maybe. I don't remember the episode count for Stargirl.
For Stargirl, I can't remember offhand.
Okay,
I can't
yeah.
remember.
So offhand. 16's pushing it. If it is 16, that's even pushing it to have like a couple episodes of filler. But I don't know. Hopefully they stick the story, and hopefully it will be tight and be good.
All right. So the next two stories for TV news are kind of small. Tyler Holcham wants to be Superman for a long time. Now, this is an article from Men's Health. That's basically what the story was. It told a lot, of course, about his diets, him going from keto to vegan, and all of these other different things. Now, of course, everybody hooked on this, Tyler wants to be Superman for a very long time, which is nice. Everybody wants to stay employed. That's not the real conversation that I saw other people having as well. Other people were having this conversation of them finding out that Tyler did not prepare, quote unquote, for the Superman role by watching any other reiteration of Superman. He wanted to make this his own thing. How do you feel about that?
Probably better. Like most everybody automatically will compare any Superman, any actor who plays Superman to Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves. Which is you have every right to compare people to him. But then you are automatically putting Reeves on this pedestal, and why would you try to even achieve that? Like, and let's be honest, I've over at my show Comic Book Rundown, we've been watching movies. You were just on and which actually just came out not too long ago, covering Superman 2, the Donner cut. Oh no, sorry, that came out next week. Sorry, my bad. I need to edit that. I need to finish editing that. Anyway, but yeah, that those movies are great. Christopher Reeves is an amazing actor. He was an amazing Superman and Clark Kent. But you don't have to copy, the man that made people believe you could fly. Yeah, the fact that Tyler is trying to get his own character, great, wonderful. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's very, very smart as well. One big thing, and it kind of goes into a question that Brent had in the GOA chat. He wants to know why he can't stitch my video on TikTok. I found this out. If you do a video over 2 minutes long on TikTok, you cannot stitch it. So, Brent, that is why. But you can download the video and then makeshift your own stitch, which is what I did with the prior individual that is attached to my video as well. So in that video that I made on TikTok, I talked about how there's that exact problem, the big problem of everybody, because I do see it as a somewhat of a problem. People can have opinions. That's A-okay to have an opinion about who your favorite Superman is. Now, what I think is kind of problematic is saying Christopher Reeves is the gold standard for Superman.
Yeah, agreed.
The problem with that statement is, and one of our big news topics of later tonight, is the fact that we may have a black Superman coming very, very soon. Now, a black Superman pretending to be Christopher Reeves on screen just will not make sense. The way Superman was portrayed in 78 compared to the way Superman is portrayed in a modern day in 2021 should 100% be different. There shouldn't be these you can have homage, you can have I kind of wanted to have that same kind of energy. Yeah, cool. You can have those inspirations. But when it comes to the actual portrayal of that character, it needs to change.
Correct.
And I love Tyler's Superman. I told somebody today who commented on the video on TikTok, they said that Tyler is their favorite Clark Kent as of right now. I said, and rightly so. He is a Clark Kent that we have not seen on screen, and that is the father figure.
Yeah.
We have not seen Clark as a father in live action. So seeing it here, that is why he has made it his own, which I completely agree with, and I'm 100% okay with,
Agreed. Yeah, no, I've only seen 2 episodes so far of Superman and Lois. Liked what I watched. Again, just ran out of time. But seeing that dynamic, it's a different take. It really is a different take. And it's nice to have that. It doesn't always have to be, Superman being the most powerful being around and everybody should bow to him. No, like I feel like, and again, I've only watched 2 episodes, but it brings Superman and Clark down to earth more and is treating him like a human being. Again, only watched 2 episodes, don't know what's going on. So I'll get there.
A lot happens.
Okay.
A lot happens. So, Travis, my co-host, he said, he's on vacation, but He says he was the deadbeat dad in Superman Returns.
Yes, but Brandon Routh was still a good Superman. Come on.
But he didn't play a father. He played
a
Superman who found out he was a father.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So the last part of our TV news is one that hit us kind of surprisingly. Surprisingly, but not surprisingly, to be completely honest. Matt Ryan to no longer be Constantine. This is kind of upsetting a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Now, there was a long stream of cartoons, shorts, movies, and even live action TV shows where Matt was Constantine for every single one of those.
Yep. Since he got the role for the NBC show.
Yeah.
It was Matt Ryan from that point on.
And he said, I would like to play this character for as long as possible.
Well, that possible finally came.
Yeah, that possible has now ended. Yeah. He did change his tone, though, in this article where he states that it's time to let that character go. Now, do I think that is entirely up to Matt Ryan? No, I do not. Because there is this little thing that is happening over at HBO Max called Justice League Dark.
And why wouldn't they ask Matt Ryan to reprise Constantine on that? I mean, you can have the same character going through every universe, right, Clay?
To be fair, from what we have been hearing, they're wanting a person of color.
Oh,
Constantine.
I did not know that. That's actually kind of cool.
Yes. A lot of fan favorites is... Oh, shoot. I'm going to have to pull up his name because I don't want to mess this up.
Tisk.
It is the actor from Harry Potter. Shoot. I don't remember. I can't remember what his name is. I know he has been in like other BBC shows after his it's Alfred Enoch is his name. So I would 100% be okay with this. I'm actually going to pull up a picture of
please,
him.
I can't picture him off the top of my head.
This is Enoch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I would 100% be okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ryan is no longer going to be Constantine. They are wanting to, of course, make this other Constantine show to assemble the Justice League Dark. Of course, they're not going to say that.
Well,
because of course, multiverse, right? Multiverse.
I mean, there's a multiverse, so you can have 2 Constantines, and it won't confuse anybody, Clay.
You should. Just like you should have 2 Supermans and 2 Batmans.
Well, now you're just getting crazy. You're getting greedy. You can't be greedy.
Why not?
Because that's not what WB does. WB asks you what you want and then does the complete opposite.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with the A-lister surveys that some of the GOA
Oh
chat
yeah, yeah, yeah.
members are because they're asking general audience members, because let's be completely honest, there's going to be some crazy like moviegoers that aren't necessarily DC fans that love to have those little like, hey, if I do this survey, I know I'm going to get like a free movie ticket, or I'm going to go see a movie early, or I'm going to go get this poster or something. People love to do those things. And we've seen that recently WB is asking their moviegoers if they would be confused with multiple versions of certain characters in the DC universe. I think that's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. Which
And
I mean,
I would love to know the answers, like the
I
collected answers to that
guarantee
question.
at least, I'll even lowball it. 73% said
Would be okay with it?
would be okay with it.
Okay.
I would definitely say 70. I mean, that's just I'm guessing here. Because look at the hype around Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes.
The whole hype is
the
Tobey
fact
Maguire
that
and
Toby
Andrew Garfield.
and Andrew may be
Like,
a part of it. Correct.
and people want that. And you're telling me, then okay, for DC wise, look at the hype around the Flash movie, which I know we're gonna get into it later. But Michael Keaton has been confirmed. Michael Keaton's on set. Everybody is excited for that. And that's not confusing anybody whatsoever. People want that.
Yeah. That is
and
true.
you're telling me you can't have a Constantine in a made-for-TV movie, or no, I'm sorry, it is going to be series, right? The
Yes.
Justice League Dark. So you can't have him in this streaming service series and the CW series?
Exactly. Exactly. But with that, let's go ahead and take our first ad break. Of course, we do not choose the ads, so I do apologize if there's anything that isn't, tickling your fancy, or however you want to say it. We will be back in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. So, movie news now. Movie news. This one doesn't hit us with a huge, not with a lot of surprise, but some people did question it. James Wan has revealed that he won't be coming back for a third Aquaman movie. Now, basically, in the way this article is really talking, or Wan was really explaining, is that he sometimes gets bored with the content that he's creating, in the sense of, hey, I want to try something new. Just like actors. Actors will be like, okay, I'm done with this role. Let's move on to something else. It happens all the time. I do not dislike James Wan for making this decision.
No, not at all.
Now, I feel like money may talk, and if they want to throw a lot of money at him, he may come back. But as of right now, he is not coming back for a third installment of Aquaman if that happens. How do you feel about that?
See, I honestly don't think even if they throw a bunch of money at him, I don't think he would. I was looking up his, and now I can't seem to find it. Oh, there it is. I was looking up just all of his director credits, and he's only done like 3 sequels. Maybe it was only 2. The Conjuring. No, yeah, okay, it is 3. So he did Insidious 1 and 2, directing wise. The Conjuring 1 and 2, and then Aquaman 1 and 2. So, and then he's been producer and
everything else on the other movies.
Yeah. So he's had his hand in the stuff he helps create, but directing wise, he's good.
So it seems like this is pretty on par with how he treats
exactly, and I'm fine with that, honestly. Like,
yeah,
this is it sad? Of course, he did an amazing job in the first one. I'm looking forward to what he can do in the second one of Aquaman. I mean, would I like for him to come back for a third one? Yes, but I'm not going to be upset if he doesn't. Also, tinfoil hat on for a second. This is just a way to get. I mean, Aquaman is making the money, sure, but this is a way to get all of the Snyder connected people gone. So that'd be my guess. It's not going to happen. I know. I'm stirring up a hornet's nest here. But
yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
I mean,
but
but
no,
that's my job, Joe.
I know. I'm trying to relieve some pressure from you.
Gosh.
Back to the story, though. No, James Wan leaving after Aquaman 2, fine. He'll probably stay on for producer or a writer credit, and he'll keep it going in any direction that he's already set up. So I'm totally fine with him not coming back.
Yeah, and I believe he has another horror film that is already, like, there was a trailer for one just here recently. I can't remember the name of it. But he is already about to direct a new, like, movie. So I'm sure
Someone Inside Your House, is that might
maybe. But I'm okay with it. 100% okay with it. Michael Gray was seen in a possible cameo scene on set of Shazam! Fury of the Gods. People may say, okay, who the hell is that? That, my friends, is the original Billy Batson on the TV series.
Yep.
This would be absolutely amazing just because I know that they will use him in, like, the funniest way possible. Like, they could very well just, like, have him in the background, but knowing who, like, oh shoot, I can't remember his last name. David, who's the director? Holy crap! I just know his Twitter handle. Sandberg. Yeah,
there you go.
Sandberg. There we go.
I knew you'd get it.
I was like, what? Yeah, Sandberg. He's hilarious, and I know that he will definitely use him in the most hilarious way. Now, of course, we have seen more set photos that we haven't talked about here on DC Alliance yet, but you know, there's the set photos of Zach having his suit a little charred. Yep. We're seeing more people on set as far as, like, in costumes and stuff. So all really exciting things going on over there at the Fury of the Gods set. Did you ever watch the original Shazam series?
No, it was a show I knew about, but never actually saw. Maybe I'd watch, like, a highlight reel.
See, I feel like this is a direct response to his fake Shazam trailer that he made for the original Shazam movie. Do you remember that? Like, he did, like, this really cool intro, like, with lightning and thunder, and then all of a sudden it was the original show of Shazam.
Really?
That played
I remember the Sinbad genie thing. He
did that on because,
but no, I don't remember the whole Mandela effect thing. But I don't remember this one.
Yeah, I feel like that one was, like, because people were kind of just like Spider-Man No Way Home. People were like, where's the trailer for Shazam? We want to see this trailer. And he's like, okay, here. And he threw it out there, and it was just like a complete troll. Absolutely amazing.
Like, the fact that he is behind Shazam, honestly, the fact that he is actually a director of any DC property just makes me excited.
It's so amazing how he got his start from YouTube. Like, that is legitimately how he got his start in filmmaking. And now he has, like, so many series on YouTube still. Of course, he has, delayed those series because, of course, filming actual movies in Hollywood. But he has, like, tips and tricks on how to make movies, which is absolutely amazing. Got to support other content creators. So this one I dabbled into actually today, because early this morning I had to put it on this conversation. Of course, first look, we have the first look at Ben Affleck's Batman. Ben Affleck, well, he's not on set, we know that for sure, because he's hugging J-Lo's badonkadonk over on his yacht. But we saw Batfleck on set of The Flash.
Yeah.
The Bat Cycle looks insane. There's people criticizing the suit of Batman, but I'm not worried about it whatsoever.
Oh no, it's like they can change it a little bit in post-production. Weird,
I know. See, this is what again, this is what grinds my gears.
Stir in the pot.
People are out here complaining, "Oh, this movie's taking 6 months to film." You know what? I have seen professionals make a professional music video with their iPhone. Zack Snyder himself has made a short movie with his iPhone. Yeah. And I know that is what they are basically. People are basically the freaking what's his freaking name from the original Iron Man movie that you hate so much? You said that you hated Iron Man. I
didn't say I hated Iron Man. It's just lower than you on my MCU rating.
Jeez. The villain from the first Iron Man movie.
Oh, Obadiah Stane.
Obadiah. That's what I was. So it's like everybody's Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. That's how people are treating Zack Snyder in his filmmaking when he takes just the amount of time as anybody else making a damn movie. Yeah. I don't care what you people say.
The funny thing is that when was The Rock announced as Black Adam? 2007?
2007.
It's been over a decade that he was announced, and we are finally getting a movie. And people, yes, people were complaining, but they're okay with that. And now Flash has been bumped numerous times because of directors, because of pandemic, because of filming like things. That's been what, 6 years?
Yeah.
I just why are you guys angry? Like, you're getting something.
Yeah, but for some reason, these stupid idiots, yes, I'm talking to you, all of you Snyder quote unquote fans, cultists, whatever you want to call yourselves, think that it takes a week to film a freaking high budgeted Hollywood movie.
All right, so all you people listening, all the people that Clay just alienated, come on over to Walk the Verse.
Clay.
Come on over to a Walk to the Multiverse. I will hug you. I will love you. I will keep you away from the bad man.
I don't care anymore.
You're good. I'm just messing with you.
Because you have the Snyderverse in a different light.
Yes.
It's over at Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Just have it. They're giving it to you for free. It's a Netflix subscription, but it's basically free.
So free because there's only like 4 people that pay for Netflix, and the rest of the world that just lobbies off of them.
Basically. Anyway, so there is, of course, I loved all the people that were like, "Oh, this means the cultured nerd was wrong." I don't know why you had to say it. Everybody knew they were wrong because their existence is wrong. It's that easy. But we are, in fact, getting a Ben Affleck's interpretation of Batman in this movie. Yeah. Now, does that mean that we are going to be getting Ben Affleck himself? We will probably see him once or twice in the film. And I'm sure he is just probably prolonging this filming as much as possible. Because from what we've known, he has no desire to come back. He came back for Zack Snyder's Justice League to shoot possibly just a day's worth of filming.
Yeah.
And he's done. Probably. Most likely.
Maybe.
We will see. Multiverse.
Right. Let's get through the Flash first before we can actually, start talking about the multiverse again.
But we got more of these different, we saw several different videos of the Bat Cycle, and it looked like there was some sort of chase scene going on, whether it be a like armored car or whatever. It looked like some kind of Humvee. So,
and I know that the guys over at the Marvel Alliance have talked about how
bullies.
They haven't bullied me yet. So I'm staying. I'm Switzerland. I'm staying neutral ground here. They've talked about how like we are not getting any leaks from any of the Marvel projects except for Alfred Molina because he don't give a damn, or even Kevin Feige right now apparently. But these photos were leaked, and I feel like if they would just keep a tighter guard, they could have actually kept some of this stuff like a secret. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think so because again,
they film outside, which is the one thing that DC or Warner Brothers has been doing that the Marvel Studios has not been doing. They try like to keep everything in studio, and filming outside is great. Filming outside, filming on a thing.
Chris says, "Sorry, we don't bully. Haters gonna hate." Yeah, well, you could say that. That's
why I'm staying in the middle, Chris. But
because
there's been leaks left and right on all of these DC movies that had they just kept tighter lips on,
there was no leak. There was no leak on Black Adam.
Yeah, because you're gonna leak stuff that The Rock's in, and are you gonna bring that wrath down on you? No. Do they film outside or do they film in the studio?
They filmed from what it looks like in the volume or with volume technology.
Okay.
They could easily do that. But I would like to know how easy can you do that in volume technology? Like can you film a chase scene in volume technology?
I'm going to say Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
I
don't know. I honestly have no idea because it's not like I use that technology, left and right.
So here's the thing on keeping wraps on Keaton, Batfleck, whatever you want to talk about them. These two were already confirmed. No, they were confirmed. Like when you show concept art,
the concept art of Keaton at Fandom.
Yes. Like it's confirmed. I'm sorry. You're not going to be like, oh, we don't know if it's going to happen. Like, no, I'm sorry. You are trying to like get these fans hyped up when you're like
and most honestly, and I agree with, I think you said it at one point in time in the past, these leaks were probably officially leaked.
Yes. That's what I was getting at the fact that you want to be talked about.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, you have Aquaman, the Batman, Flash. You had the Black Adam and Shazam all filming at the exact same. That's 5 movies. Because right now, ironically, the Batman is shooting reshoots in the exact same city as the Flash is in right now.
Interesting.
Very.
Because I thought the production for the Batman was done, but we got that window of reshoots.
Yep. Yeah. So you have these 5 movies. You have, let's see,
and Black Adam just ended their production.
Yes.
Right? I mean, we'll have the window of reshoots, but
there's other people still filming, but The Rock himself has finished production because he was doing the press junkets for Jungle Cruise. Now, you have less than 3 months until Fandom. We have not seen any official trailers for anything because they want to save those for Fandom. So how does WB stay in the conversation of all the hype with Black Widow just being released, Shang-Chi being, the next in line, movies are slowly coming back, and WB doesn't have anything. So you're going to want to be a part of the conversation.
Okay, that's fair.
Having these videos and pictures out puts you at least in the conversation. So why not do it? Right?
Yeah, that's. But you also risk people. For example, with the Sasha Kaye thing, people were all upset by the way her costume looked and the way her hair looked. It's like, first off, who gives a fuck? But that's besides the point. Like, honestly, just she looks amazing, and for me personally, I want to see her portrayal of it. But there are people who are like, well, no, this looks bad. I don't want to see this. She's going to do a terrible job.
If you had the choice to watch The Batman that's coming out in 2022 on your phone that was videotaped with a 1990s camcorder, would you watch it or would you watch it in theaters?
Here's the question. Same day or months before?
Same day.
Ooh.
With a 1990s camcorder, watching it on your phone.
You know how authentic that'd be? That'd be really, really grainy and really cool. Be like, oh, I am just memories flashing back. And can I drag this on any longer of how dumb of an idea that is?
It's stupid dumb. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to watch the movie in HD.
Yep. Highest quality possible.
All of these people that are like,
possible.
Oh, the Twitter is compressing this photo and it was taken really far away. Why is it not HD? I'm sorry. You're all a bunch of fucking idiots. And I'm sorry for anybody who's listening to this with children in their car.
Again, everybody, come over to Walk the Multiverse or Walk Through the Multiverse. It's gonna be great. I will give you cookies.
I will give you common sense. That's what I will give you.
You can eat cookie. You can't eat common sense.
Moving on. Flash related somewhat because Batfleck, the Flashpoint. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohan are still trying to play Flashpoint Batman and Joker, quoting, they would still love to do it. I don't see it happening in Flashpoint.
Of course not. But
because they would not be talking it as freely as they would.
No. Or maybe they're pulling Alfred Molina and just why not?
That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. I do want to see this.
Agreed.
But I think I want to see Lauren Cohan be Joker more than I want to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan be Batman. Because all you really have to do is put Jeffrey Dean Morgan... Well, no, that's a lie. I was going to say Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character on Walking Dead, just give him a bat cowl and, there you go. It's Flashpoint Batman.
No. Negan is nothing like Flashpoint Batman. Wow.
I mean, you can make him like Batman.
Can you, though?
He uses a bat. It's the same thing.
Close enough, right? And he's a man, so... I would love for this to happen. I know it's not going to. I really do. I would love for it to happen. I would love to see it happen.
Give us another Flashpoint in animation and have them portray the characters.
There we go.
I would be okay with that as well. But I would definitely love to see this happen in live action. I'm sure when WB finally decides to do it, they'll be like, y'all are too old.
We're on season 15 of Walking Dead, even though the show ended 5 years ago. We're still out here making it because why the heck not?
Basically. So after that, we have DC's Injustice film finds its cast and filmmakers. You're excited about this.
Look, the comics are amazing. So them making a movie out of it, I'm there. My only issue is that I still haven't watched the last 3 animated movies.
Really?
I have them. I just haven't watched them yet. Like, so they get my money because I will buy it and then I'll just put it on my shelf and I'll watch it eventually. That's on me. I got no time, man.
You need to find the time.
Well, that's the thing. Like this week, I will probably actually one of these days, since I am currently off of work for the week, probably watch at least the Justice Society one because
it's a good one.
Yeah,
it's a fun one.
And then I can finally listen to you guys' coverage of superhero discussions.
Mine and Heinz' review of it. Yeah. Now, I will say this. I'm not a fan of the animation. It is now.
It's not the Archie animation like you hate with the other ones.
Well, everybody keeps saying that I hate the Archie or the Archer.
You've been saying that.
No. I said that it's not my favorite, but I have told people that the animation style is what is in for all animation, like going forward.
Yes,
because it's the easiest.
We've talked about that.
It's the easiest thing to make. That is not the Adventure Time animation that it has now since slowly died.
Yeah,
it took forever. Jesus Christ. But this is the same studio that has been making the Mortal Kombat movies, which is very appropriate considering that Injustice, the video game, was made by the people who created Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
So, NetherRealms. So, in those hands, I'm okay with it.
You still haven't watched the Scorpion's Revenge, have you?
I have not watched Scorpion's Revenge. I know that the other one is coming out fairly soon.
Sometime soon.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that going to be something that is going to be releasing on HBO Max?
Probably not immediately. Because Scorpion's Revenge was on there maybe 6 months after it came out on DVD, and that's how I watched it. It was on HBO Max. So I would not take bets that it's going to be on there day one, but whenever it does, I'm looking forward to it because Scorpion's Revenge was pretty awesome. I know you didn't like the live action movie, but I really think you'd like that animated movie.
Yeah. Now the cast, I'm also not 100% with.
Like
Justin Hartley as Superman, I don't see it. Of course, this will be his third DC superhero playing.
Yes.
Of course, he did play Green Arrow on Smallville. He did technically film an entire pilot of Aquaman, and now he's going to be playing Superman.
My only thing with that is I haven't seen him since the end of Smallville because I know he was in another show, like
the very popular This Is Us.
Yeah. I didn't see him in that, so I can't speak to what his acting prowess has evolved since the end of Smallville. So I guess since he's like one of the few in this cast that I know, the other handful is Jillian Jacobs. Is that her name?
Let me see. I'm trying to find her. As Harley Quinn. Yeah.
Yes. And she is Adam Eve in Invincible right now. And then Laura Bailey.
Yes.
As
Lois Lane.
Lois.
Of course.
She was Abby in Last of Us 2.
And she also plays Black Widow, Natasha, in the Avengers game. She is also a series regular on the Twitch TV series Critical Role, which is D&D. Now, Anson Mount, of course, a lot of people know him from... he did an AMC show for a long, long time. He is currently on a Star Trek show, as well as he played Black Bolt in The Inhumans. He is going to be voicing Batman. That's probably the only one that I'm like, okay, I can kind of see that. Everybody else, though, is really going to have to like sell it for me. Give me that first trailer and let's see how it goes. Is the way I'm really seeing this.
That's honestly going to be the make or break of all this.
Now, they did show like a first look, because this article did come with the picture of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And that was like technically like your first look as far as like screen captures. Again, let's just see how everything moves in motion, what the sound design is, and everything else. Yes, Chris, Captain Christopher Pike, he was also in that Star Trek show. That's right. Now, there was a small little like Suicide Squad controversy as far as the screeners goes, that has since, I think, been resolved. There's people who do reviews for their living, and because of COVID-19, some people were questioning going back to the theaters. So they were asking for at-home screeners, and WB was not doing it. James Gunn has since responded to that individual that kind of went viral for a little bit that day, and he said that they are trying to fix that problem. So no update on how exactly that will be fixed or if it will, but hopefully things do change, because we're not done with this pandemic as much as people would want to.
Nope, it's getting worse, actually.
But before we move on to movie news, let's go ahead and jump into our second ad break here. Of course, we do not choose the ads, and we will be back in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. All right. So, movie news. Moving on. Sorry, not movie news. We just did movie news. HBO Max movie news. So, the kind of smaller part of this news is the fact that HBO Max has announced that they will be developing at least 10 films for HBO Max in 2022. I think this does, in fact, include Batgirl, but I don't know what else it includes. I don't know if Zatanna is slated for 2022 or not.
Well, and I'm sure it's WB making these films. It's not saying it's going to be all DC related films.
No, it's not.
It's literally a plethora of every film they have. So
yeah,
my guess is they'll probably have 4 DC related films. That'd be, you can put one out each quarter.
Yeah,
but that's even pushing it there, because that's assuming one is almost done now and will be out in the first quarter of 2022, which I doubt.
I have a feeling, and some people can correct me, but I believe WB or even HBO Max at one point said that they were going to be developing 2 movies for theaters and 2 movies for HBO Max at one point.
I remember something like that.
So I could see them doing that as well.
Exact wording.
As far as DC films go.
Yeah.
If that is the case, then Batgirl and Zatanna being in 2022 would 100% make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm okay with it. More content, of course, something that Travis Snell is very, very much for. Hashtag content. So yeah, I'm down for the new phase of what HBO Max will be dealing with. But of course, we all have to remember that sometime next year, Discovery is going to be completing their purchase of everything that AT&T sold them, or merged them, or technically sold them. But
sold them.
Yeah.
Yep.
But talking about Batgirl, we finally have our Batgirl. Leslie Grace Martinez will be Barbara Gordon in the upcoming film of Batgirl. Of course, she is the breakout star from In the Heights, the musical that just released from WB. Did you get to see that at all?
No, my girlfriend's daughter watched it like crazy, but I never got a chance to actually sit down and watch it with her. This was also, looking into her credits, this was In the Heights was her only credit. Like that was her first film, and the fact that she got the role for Batgirl, good on her. Like that's awesome.
Absolutely,
because she's a singer songwriter. That's her forte. Yeah. So that's awesome. I am expecting Barbara Gordon to have a impromptu dance scene on the roof now, or maybe even like the side of. No, wait, she was the other one. Yeah, on top of a roof, because why not? I'm kidding. I'm so kidding.
As long as other things don't ensue on rooftops, I'm good. You know?
But no, like I am looking forward to her being Batgirl. Like, this is awesome news. I know she was in the running with 4 or 3 other individuals, and obviously she won out. So, do we think? I mean, this goes back to the multiverse question, but this is not going to be connected in any way to the Batman or to any other like Batman property, right?
We do not know yet. There is speculation that this will be connecting to whatever the Flash does with Keaton, because there's that heavy rumor that Keaton will be some sort of mentor figure towards Barbara Gordon in the future. I even saw a rumor today suggesting that the Batgirl film will actually be a gender bend on Batman Beyond. That will be interesting if that is true.
Interesting.
I don't think so, because in all honesty, I genuinely think that WB probably wants the Burnside Batgirl costume on the screen, because it's quite possibly the easiest thing to do. But unfortunately, the way that looks, in my eyes, is 100% SCW costume.
Okay.
It is like it's all leather. It looks like it legitimately, turn that thing green and take off the cape. That is freaking Stephen Amell's freaking Green Arrow suit.
Yeah, you're not terribly wrong. I can't disagree with you that much.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I would be interested to see. I could actually see this connecting to the Batman movie and her being Jim Gordon's daughter. Because, fun fact, Barbara Gordon originally in the comics was the adopted daughter of Jim Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people know that.
Nope.
Because it was actually she is his niece, and then obviously he adopted her. I don't know when. I can't say the exact story when, but yeah, I like to throw that nugget out there. Nugget of new knowledge out there.
Not a lot of people know about it either. I found that out, like, I want to say like 2 years ago. Of course, I have another show called Batman News Weekly, where one of my good friends here in the town that I live in is obsessed with Batman, and he dropped that knowledge on me a couple of years ago. But yeah, I'm super excited for Leslie being Batgirl. I did say that I wanted some brown representation in some sort of DC property. Seeing it here in Batgirl is just one step closer to that, and it is. So I am super excited about it. For all of you fuckers who think that she needs red hair, you're wrong. So moving on to the big topic of the night. This, again, a lot of surprises, but not surprises, just because we really weren't expecting it. Very random. A lot of people, of course, think that, because Ray Fisher said that Hamada needs to come out of hiding, WB was running scared. They're like, we need to throw this out there. Not necessarily. Just because that statement was really a non-statement from Ray Fisher, it wasn't really shining any light on any new information that he might have on that whole investigation and controversy. And then, of course, there is I think the most recent thing was the TV writer for Superman and Lois. She had brought up some screenshots that have since been set as copyright today.
Which is weird, but okay.
Yeah. Didn't really talk about that because it's almost a non-story, just because I think WB is wrong in that sense, that there was nothing copyright about that.
WB being wrong on something? I don't believe that for
every
a minute,
goddamn day. Again, existing. They're wrong in existing.
Well,
just like Cultured Nerd. But
wow.
I'm sorry. It's true.
You're fine. You're fine.
But having this Val Zod Superman series, because Collider did drop this news on us saying that it was going to be a movie, and then they corrected themselves and said that it's going to be a limited series on HBO Max. This, I will tell you now, because a lot of people are probably going to come to me and be like, oh, but why were you so upset about the Black Clark Kent Superman, but you're so excited about Val Zod? There is a difference in these two projects. Now, I will never say, of course, nobody asked for this, because the people asking for it are the people that are paying for it. Easy as that.
Mm-hmm.
WB wants it, they're going to pay for it. HBO Max wants it, they're going to pay for it. Easy as that. Now, the Black Clark Kent story, that, of course, was a huge gaslight for what Ray Fisher was saying on Twitter all those months ago. And they're like, hey, look, we're not racist. We have a black Superman planned. Oh, Val Zod? No, we're going to race bend the white dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's nice. And people are saying, oh, but they're gender bending Batgirl. That is also different. With Superman, you have a black counterpart.
Yes.
With a completely different story on his upbringing. And with the climate today, can be a lot easier and more heartbreaking, unfortunately, on how you make that series. Making Clark Kent black is saying, oh, look, we can turn a white man Superman and relate it to black people. That's not what we want. I'm sorry. And this may be a very controversial topic right now, but you were essentially, and I know that Superman is an alien. I know that Clark Kent is an alien.
Why are you spoiling these things for me?
But when you basically say, hey, we're going to blackface a character real quick and make a movie out of it, and everybody's going to be fine, it's not fine.
Yeah, so pretty sure the internet was not fine that day.
No, it wasn't. Now, Michael B. Jordan has wanted to do this for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And what people tend to forget with Michael B. Jordan, several years ago, not a couple, but several years ago, he met with WB on providing this program on getting more people of color roles in every piece of media that WB owns, whether it be TV, animation, live action, movies, whatever. He was like, there needs to be representation in all corners of this productions, whether it be in the writing room, whether it be on screen, whether it be producer, whatever. They need to have more representation there. Michael B. Jordan is a huge person when it comes to representation. And he talked to Oprah about this a couple of years ago, explaining to her, like, oh, there's this other Superman, Val Zod. And, she made a joke. Oh, yeah, trying, considering whether she should act like she knows what he's talking about, whatever. And he said, oh, I'm a comic book guy, so let me explain it to you. And he did. And he talked about the weight of being a black Superman on him, not necessarily just like a black Superman in general, but whoever is going to be playing that character, there's going to be a lot of weight on that character.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that TikTok that I made, and go ahead and reference that again, go look at my TikTok at Fanboy Clay. I referenced all the way back when Superman Returns was being made, Bryan Singer approached Will Smith for the role of Superman.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yes. He approached Will Smith to be Superman. And there was a quote from Will Smith. And this is a very loose quote, but he basically said, you think that I can play a white man's superhero and live to tell the tale? Because even back then, Will Smith knew that that may be career suicide. not because, hey, I'm going to be Superman, but the reaction of him playing Superman could have been devastating. Same thing that it could be devastating now for a lot of people who aren't familiar with how comics are portraying these characters.
I definitely think the audience, general audience, is more open to it now.
Oh, yeah, but
than they would have been back in 2005, 2006. But there's still that group.
There is still a small, disgusting corner of the world.
Yes.
A lot larger than we would like. But people are going to have a problem with this.
Yeah.
But I think it's a huge step. If Michael B. Jordan is involved in this, like he is, he's not going to take shit from anybody.
No.
So I have more hopes in this than I do the J.J. Abrams, Ta-Nehisi Coates timepiece Superman, Black Clark Kent movie that they're attempting to make. And I have also heard and seen people say that because of this announcement, you can probably slowly but surely just never hear from that other movie ever again. That'll probably just like dissipate.
I haven't heard squat about that one since it came out. What?
I think there was, maybe a month or two ago, there was a interview with Coates basically saying that, like, I'm still attached to it. We don't know exactly what'll happen, but
interesting. But again, that doesn't really mean anything anymore. Like we were saying earlier, Rock got attached to Black Adam in 2007. Movie's finally coming out. The Flash has been in production for 6 years. Like, just because we haven't heard about that project moving forward in the last 6 months doesn't mean it's dead in the water. I can get behind you on with this Val Zod, Michael B. Jordan series moving forward on HBO Max. That project, the other project, will may be pushed to the back burner for a while, but I don't see it being dead. Only on the terms of if they couch this as an Elseworlds, and they actually use the multiverse like they're supposed to, say this is an Elseworlds, because there is plenty of Superman stories where Clark Kent, Kal-El, shows up in a different time period, and that is the story. And there's the War of the Worlds one off the top of my head. That one's a great one. There's one an Elseworlds annual from 1996 where it wasn't Kal-El, but it was one of his great ancestors comes to the world, comes to America in like colonial time. No, sorry, scratch that. Before. No, it wasn't America. Maybe it was over in England. Sorry. Mine's going everywhere. But he lands on Earth, and he is an adult, and he takes over, and basically that version, that Kryptonian, is ruling this land, and Kal-El is so far removed from being Kryptonian that kryptonite does not affect him. And he stands up to his, what would essentially be his great times, whatever, grandfather. And it really is amazing Elseworlds story. But like, if you say, yes, it's going to be an Elseworlds, fine. You want Black Clark Kent? I'm there. I'll be there day one. But if you're just doing the story to make him a black man, make Clark Kent a black man, and say, yeah, we've got a black Superman, come watch it. No. That's like the worst thing you could do. This, Michael B. Jordan, Val Zod, Superman, this is the way it's supposed to be done. This is the way it should be done.
Yeah. 100%. Now, we will take one last ad break because we do have one. I already answered Brent's question while we were talking.
We're not going to do. We're going to do comic book review. I read all 6 issues of Nightwing for nothing. Just kidding. I had time to read.
Travis said that he, of course, wanted to review that one.
Nope, screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spoil it for him right now.
I will say, did you read the book that I told you to read?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Because you said not to. Because
because I was just gonna say give like very, very limited, non-spoilery like promotion.
No, I went, like I said, I went and saw Snake Eyes today. Took the kids, and then I had work here in the basement to do when I got home. So I didn't actually have time to read it.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and say this before we go to our last ad break. I cannot say much because the embargo is not up currently while we were going live on this podcast. But when the feed is there and people are listening to it, of course, the embargo will be gone. So I will just be very vague in what I say. Superman, the son of Kal-El, #1, is, like Chris said in our comic book crew chat, it is a breath of fresh air. It is a great start to a Superman series. There is one little thing that is said at the very end of the book that could be problematic for the characters in the future that I definitely want to get to. Little tease from maybe October. Oh, I wonder what's happening then.
I will ask this question. So this is a Jonathan Kent led book.
Yes.
Written by Tom Taylor. Yes, which is why I want to read it, and just that's my own fault for not. The last time we saw a Jonathan Kent led comic book was in Future State, correct?
Future State, yes. No, okay. Well, technically,
I think he's taken over a little bit.
That was an event book, technically, but yes,
sure. But it had Jonathan Kent as Superman.
Yes,
definitely better than that.
Yes.
Okay, because those were a little rough.
So I will say the last statements of the comic can kind of be like the reason. Could lead. I will just leave it at that. They could lead into Future State.
Okay.
But if Tom Taylor plays it right, it could be fun.
Okay.
So, and I completely trust Tom Taylor. So we will leave it at that. We have one question to answer, but we will answer that question right after this break. And we will be back in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. All right. So the one question we have is a question that was actually a week ago from Chris. We actually forgot to.
You're supposed to say we punted it to this week because we had so much last week. That's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, what Joe said. Scratch that. That's what I said.
Yep, that's what I heard.
So the question is, what is your favorite Superman story / scene / moment from all mediums?
So when you asked me this question, there was a couple that stuck out in my head, and I'm going to stick mainly to the comics because that is my go-to. The one that I really fall back to though is the death of Superman. It's the moment when this man who was invincible, this man who could not die. Like he got brought down, and that issue 75 of Superman, when you open up that page, that last
double
insert, on the back, and you just see him sprawled out dead, Lois crying, Jimmy in the background taking the picture, Flag back there waving. Like it's such a memorable moment to me because that is Death of Superman is one of the titles that got me into comics. And had I not read that, I don't think I'd be where where I am today. Honestly, I don't think I'd be podcasting with you today. Like it changed my life and changed my world, and I'm kind of who I am today because of it.
It's a great story. I
It
absolutely
really
love
is.
that. Yeah. Now, I will also go right into comics. I have always been a comic book fan from when I was little. My dad would like show me his comics, but I didn't really get to collect comics until early into high school. The very first Superman comic that I purchased was Superman 659. This
Okay.
is a Kurt Busiek story. And I love this entire story. And I learned to appreciate it more through life. And the reason why, a lot of people don't know this about me. I am a religious person. I am what people consider Christian. Uh, and this story is about this woman that is saved by Superman. And she believes that Superman is an angel. And coincidentally, there has been moments where she has seen events take place on television, like really bad events, and she sits down and she prays and she prays and she prays, and Superman is there. And it happens over and over again. And so she has all this confidence in the world that like Superman is basically at her beck and call because of the power of Jesus. And she ends up like going to face problematic situations. Like there's this like group of armed robbers that are like stealing something, and she walks straight up to them and she's like, she starts praying and she's like, Superman's gonna get you, blah blah blah. She's about to get gunned down, and then Superman saves her and settles the situation. And he says like, you need to calm down, like you can't be doing this kind of thing. She's like, oh, but you're an angel. I know that you are. Like God sent you to us. You're an angel. Like that is who you are, and you protect people because of it. That is your job. And she gets to this moment finally after several different altercations where she is putting herself in harm's way. There is finally this altercation in the small part of Metropolis where they're like, hey, this gang is taking over. Like, we need to do something about it. And she's like, oh, don't worry. I got this. She runs right in and she starts talking to him. And in the back of her head, she's like, oh, you don't, or she tells him like, hey, I got the power of Jesus on my side, basically, knowing full well that she means Superman.
The power of Kal-El compels you.
Basically. And this guy pulls out a gun and shoots her. Superman's not there to save her. He is in the North Pole fighting this huge monster. But it shows that he can hear every single thing that was said in that warehouse. And he is just broken.
Of course.
And she does end up surviving. He goes to the hospital and he tells her, like, you need to understand, like, I understand what you believe in, but I am not this thing that you were wanting me to be. And she's like, okay, I understand that, but you were sent here for a reason. You have a purpose. And so, like, he flies off and it has this awesome panel at the very, very end of him, like, just flying. You see, like, the little, like, sun glare behind him and everything. It just looks gorgeous. The reason why I love this so much is this shows you the craziness of people, but also, like, what Superman has to go through, like, almost every single day. There are wackadoos out there. And surprisingly enough, there was a hint of this in Man of Steel and BVS.
Yeah. Yep.
When, of course, there was the flood and you see him like saving the people, and it was very Christ-like, the way they portrayed him in that movie. And it's just like, yeah, I know that like there's a lot of Christians that are fucking crazy, and I am not a part of that group. But at the same time, you see it portrayed in this world of superheroes, and you're like, okay, there is this thing called faith, but at the same time, there is this, we live in a world of superheroes. It's a very weird concept and a very crazy concept to be kind of juggling all of that in your head. And one of the biggest things about Clark is telling people like, hey, I may have this godlike power, but I am not your savior. Like, this thing that you're putting me on, this pedestal that you're putting me on, I am going to fail, just like he did here.
Mm-hmm.
He did fail. Like, as much as she still believes that he is this angel that she thinks that he is, like, he still failed. And that weight is not put on her. It's put on him.
Yeah.
And it just makes him that much stronger of a person, knowing that he has all of this weighing on him. Now, I love that story because it was the very first comic that I bought. But I will say, a very close second was the only time Batman was cool was Superman speeding bullets.
Nice.
Where Superman was actually Batman. Sorry,
Yeah.
Travis Snell. I know you'll love that one. But
it actually is a really good story.
It is. It is an excellent story.
I'll say my second one was the Emperor Joker storyline because
in Action Comics.
Yeah. Well, just the whole storyline because it crossed over through all four. That was just a fun because it has the whole family, but they're put in a situation where Joker is the boss. He stole Mixie Pillix's power and kind of changed the world around, but Superman is like the villain with Bizarro being the hero, and that one's a fun one. That one is one of those ones similar to you. It was one of the ones I saw on the shelf and I bought because I had the money. I was in high school at the time. I think I was in high school at the time. Might have been just out of high school. Either way, I bought it myself, and those were one of the first ones that I bought myself. And it was a fun little story, So
yeah, very, very nice. Well, I will say, Joe, thank you again for coming on here while Travis was on vacation. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Of course. You can find me on Twitter at _actually_. That's my main too bad, Clay. That's my main handle. You can also find my show, Comic Rundown, or Comic Book Rundown, at Comic Rundown on Twitter, at Comic Book Rundown on Instagram. And then my new show, like I said earlier at the beginning of the episode, A Walk Through the Multiverse, begins airing August 5th on the GUA network, on the pod feed of itself. You guys can find that on Twitter at WalkTheVerse. And I will, if you guys want to hit me up, guys have questions you wanna send my way, talking about any of the other comic book companies, I will more than happily answer them on the show. Just have them in before August 4th, because I'll be recording the night before. That being said, I think that's everything for the moment.
Nice.
I think. Oh yeah, I'm part of the Radio Alliance as well. But
I was going to say,
yeah,
you can find me at Fanboy Clay on Twitter, of course. All of you butthurt people, remember, at Fanboy Clay, you can always talk to me.
Come to a walk through the multiverse.
My DMs are open. You can talk to me about anything. Of course, there is the link tree in my bio, giving the links to all of my other shows, including, of course, this one, DC Alliance, Batman News Weekly, Comic Book Legion Podcast, Weird Science Marvel Podcast, Weird Science DC Podcast, and, of course, Ranger Alliance But with that, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us through this very, very long episode of DC
Not
Alliance.
as long as I thought it'd be.
No, not as long as we thought it would be, but it was pretty long.
Yeah.
But we will see you guys next week.
Bye.